Be like
All
Deion
right.
Sanders. Where's my beat at?
That's exactly what I was attempting to do. Hello, everyone. This is welcome in on a special Wednesday evening. So a little bit different from our usual Sunday show. I am T, and beside me is B. I believe he's to my right. I don't know how y'all looking at the screen, right or left, but T's the only other one here, so there he is. Thank you for joining us this evening. We are excited to be here again on Wednesday night. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time listening to us, please subscribe, like, hit the notification buttons if you're a subscriber. We appreciate it all.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
and I'm going to start with this. You know what? I didn't get no emails about my basketball hoop, man. So,
I know. You know
I
what? I was
mean,
just
it's,
thinking about that there.
folks, and just to remind everybody, we were trying to give away some free stuff. There's a basketball hoop behind me. I'm just going to adjust my camera up so you can see it. It's got BNT on it. It's very wonderful, very wonderful. Talked about it in the last show. We're hoping to get some emails for folks who are willing to enter the contest so that we can give the darn thing away. So please, get in there and send us an email. Tell us about your favorite sporting event, and somebody win this thing. Otherwise, it's gonna go to Mama Birdie, and I'm trying to avoid that from happening. I mean,
Yo, so hopefully she didn't hear that one just now.
I know, right?
Well, why don't we do this? I don't know how would you feel, but the first person that comments in our chat with their favorite sports memory will get the hoop. We can make it live tonight, and if we get no
Oh
response,
man, B,
we could
so
we
much
could we
pressure.
could we could do Hunger Games style here.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might come down to that, man. We might have to chalk it out to fight it out. All right, well,
Yeah.
folks, welcome in. We're gonna jump into some of the things we want to get into. We're gonna hit on a quick, we're gonna talk about a sport that I am familiarizing myself with after many years, which is the MLB and baseball. Because baseball is upon us,
Yeah.
folks. The sunshine is not out. Rained most of today and yesterday, but it's it's on its way.
Yes, sir.
We're getting there. The sun's gonna come up, and when the sun comes up in springtime, well, spring training, which leads to baseball. It's baseball time. So let's jump into it. Before I even do that, first, I've done a lot of talking. B, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Excited for a little special edition show tonight. Um, I'm super excited for baseball, just in general. As a fan, as a basketball fan, when opening night, when tip off night is around, we have those same kind of that same energy, and there's something different about baseball on opening day when the sun's out and the everything is out. But we'll talk about that in a little bit there. But yeah, man, I'm doing good. Life is good. Can't complain.
Yeah,
Let's get into
let's
it.
get into it. So we'll start off with our MLB preview. So we're getting ourselves ready for the season. And who else do you want to speak with about the greatness that is the All American sport of baseball than B and T? So let's jump into it. So
Let's
I'm
do
gonna
it.
start with a couple of questions for you, B, because I'm gonna consider you the authority on most of this stuff. But we're gonna start with your team, the the San Francisco Giants, and a couple of questions about where they are now and where they hope to be getting into the season. So I'll first start off with kind of a simple question: how are they going to do? Where are they going to finish? B. What do you see? What is your expectation for them this year? And where do they finish in their division?
Well, the expectation was, I'm not gonna lie, was pretty much nothing. The team finished 500 last year. They struggled for the most part. The previous year, you win 107 games. There was a lot of inconsistency here, and if everyone knows the Giants had a heroic. I can't even say the word here. That offseason was terrible,
Horrendous. It was horrendous.
horrendous. Thank you. They could not even sign a big name star to convince them to come over to San Francisco here. So, coming into the season, I'm not really expecting much, but the names that they brought on could surprise you. It's you know guys who are kind of trying to resurrect their career. A few homegrown bodies that are coming back home to play for their Bay Area team. So, I think we'll see a little more excitement here. I honestly think they'll finish in second, and that's only because the
Oh
Dodgers
wow.
aren't the same. I mean, the top of the lineup is still good, but I just don't think they're going to be able to last long. And then obviously the Padres went out and signed every superstar around baseball to come play for them. So that's going to be interesting because, as you know, when super teams are formed in any sport, is how you get along. And
Right.
baseball is so different because a lot of it, believe it or not, is an individual performance. There's only one guy at the plate. Your teammates aren't helping you, and
Right.
you're going against a pitcher. So there's a lot of individual talent there. It's just all about how it can work in that team, getting it to work in a team environment. So I actually picked the Giants to finish second in the division, and maybe flirt around and maybe mess with the playoff spot.
All right.
I wouldn't be shocked. I'm saying it here now. As much as I don't have any expectations, I believe they'll finish second, and we'll find ourselves in the playoffs. I'm sticking to it there.
There you go. See, that's what happens. Beginning of the season, you got high hopes, you got butterflies in your stomach. You're ready for the season to start. You're all
So
on.
you
You're
throw out
positive.
you throw out wild ass
That's right. You're
predictions.
damn right. It's positive. It's, so let's move. Let's stick with the Giants and bring up another issue. So I believe it's been about 4 or 5 years that Farhan Sadi has been the president of operations over there with the Giants. And as a person who's close to it and a fan that's watching this team on a regular basis, one question is how'd this guy do, and number two, is this it? Is this a make or break situation or season for Farhan?
I think this is a big time make or break season because, as you stated, he's going into year 5 as president of this team and really hasn't done much to show for it here. So, the Giants are a major market team with major money. They got over 300 million because you saw them try to throw it at two different players and both got
No.
rejected. You know what I'm saying? So he has to make sure he keeps a winning team on the field. He came from the Dodgers. The whole mindset, as you know, because Oakland did the whole Moneyball thing where they picked up players for cheap, with analytics. It doesn't really work like that. Sometimes you
Yeah.
really got to spend the money to get yourself that player there. So
It's not working for
I
the
Farhan,
not working for the A's. So
you know what's funny? A lot of those players that were from the A's during that run turned out to be, pretty good ball players and superstars, but the A's could never afford them because
right,
of their salary cap.
right,
And unfortunately, baseball salary cap is very, very rugged. If you're not part of a major market team, you're not really making much off of your team there. So
yeah.
he's got to go out, and if he sees the team slipping, he's got to make a splash to try to bring somebody over here. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of people calling for him to leave the company or leave the organization because at some point, that's like us having $1 million in our bank account and not wanting to spend one dime of it.
Right,
You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
So I think he's just got to get out there and start writing some checks, getting some players. You know, everything's paid off, so just start spending the money.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, man. And we kind of transition that. You talked about not being able to sign big name players, having an opportunity. I believe at two different players. I believe it was Judge at one point, and then was it Carlos Correa?
Correa,
Correa, right? Next
yeah.
was the other. And so that being said, there's another player that's going to have an opportunity to make some serious dough. And that is Shohei Ohtani coming fresh off of the World Baseball Classic, where he was a classic and struck out Trout in the final moments of that game and was looking like your favorite anime superhero with Japan winning in Japan. So
You look like Dragon Ball Z
I'm
doing
saying he
that
was
celebration,
Goku
man. I
for
thought some
real.
flames
Yeah.
were going to come out of his hand or something.
So that being said, this guy is looking to cash in for real, man. So we've got some big contracts out there, upwards of closing into 400 million. The question is, will Shohei Ohtani be the first $500 million man?
Yes,
Half a
100%.
billion dollars.
$500 million to play baseball.
Wow.
And the way he does it too is is going to be talent that we're never going to see again.
Yeah.
Outside of the likes of Babe Ruth, but the difference between them is
Wasn't a
Otani's in shape and Babe
wasn't
Ruth
a
was just fat.
fat drunk.
Getting
Okay.
yeah, man. I mean, that's the difference
Yeah.
in all honesty,
Yeah.
because Babe Ruth was a pitcher and he also was a power hitter.
Right.
Shohei Otani does the same thing, but the man looks in shape, not full off of Coors Light or whatever beer they were drinking in the 1930s or 40s, whatever the case is.
The
You know,
David Wells body.
yeah. David, that was the talk about fat boys. That was a fat
That
boy
was
for
a big boy.
sure. um, but again, here comes another premier athlete who may want to explore because the Angels aren't winning with two of the best players on their team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They all that hype surrounding them in the World Baseball Classic, probably the most hype they've gotten outside of baseball
Yeah.
because their team is trash. So I wouldn't be shocked if Shohei kind of ventures out there, and I think the Giants may be again a team that could draw him. The only thing that needs to happen is the Giants have to have a winning season. They got to get into the playoffs. I think winning brings players to teams. In all honesty, a
Yeah.
winning environment, a forward movement brings guys over to the team to help kind of get over that next step there. Um, the Giants are going to have contracts coming off the books. There's at least 2 to 3 players, I think, in their final contract year. So they're going to have the money. And you might as well just go bankrupt if you want to get
You
Shohei
got
Otani.
to. Yeah.
So I guarantee you this, people are going to show up to that game every single time.
Yeah.
I would love to check it out. In fact, I have plans to go across the bay to Oakland to at least catch a glimpse of Shohei because why not? That's the best player in baseball.
Yeah.
You know,
And
people paid money to go see Kobe. People pay money to see LeBron. They pay to see the best athlete
right.
of their sport, and this is your best athlete right here.
I think it's a match made in heaven, man. As you know, SF right there by the bay has I've been to Japantown many times, and there's definitely a good amount of folks. No, seriously,
No,
you have
you're
you
right.
have
You're
the
right.
community in place to support a player like that. Whereas, let's say the guys in Milwaukee somewhere, it's probably not gonna have that. So yeah, no, I think it's a slam dunk, dude. I think it's a slam dunk. It's just, can your boy Farhan Sadi be a little bit more loose with the pocketbooks and make it
I
happen.
mean, it just blows my mind. Like, it's easy for us to say because if I was sitting in ownership,
Yeah.
I'd be writing checks that I hope don't bounce at one point. And trust me, that's not how I live my life, folks. I'm just saying, they have the money to spend and they're treating it like they don't have money to spend. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly. Exactly.
I hope he gets this. I hope he does it. But then again, we'll never know.
All right. Well, let's transition to some of the other happenings around MLB or some of the top stories. The first will be, I think the biggest one is the rules. So there are some rule changes that are upon us in Major League Baseball. The first is I like to call it the shot clock just because I'm a basketball guy. but
It is.
but the pitch clock or whatever they're calling it. And then also the rules against being able to shift are going to change the way that the game is played. Now, B, I'm going to turn this over to you, but to my understanding is this is being done to speed up the game, and in turn, by speeding up the game, get more people to watch. So, B, with all that being said, what are your thoughts on all this mumbo jumbo?
Man, they better hope this improves because all I'm saying is, dude. I don't want baseball rush. Baseball was never a rush game to begin with.
Right.
They have to find a way to market the game within the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Speeding it up. You don't see the NBA dropping their shot clock from 24 to 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You got to find a way within your product to make it exciting.
Right.
For me, this whole shifting, I'll start with that. The whole shift rule is stupid. These are professional hitters. You better learn how to go the other way.
Right. Yeah.
If I see 3 people on one side of the field, I got to find a pitch to take it to the other side of the field here. Players don't want to do that. The basics of the game are disappearing because they're looking to make the game exciting. And what makes the game exciting? A 450-foot home run.
You got that right. Bring
And so
back steroids.
Yeah, he said it. Don't Um, but you got to find a way to make it exciting inside the game. Changing the rules don't make the game exciting. Speeding it up to cut a half hour from the game, a half hour.
Yeah,
Let's just be honest. That's not a whole lot of time. In a sport that doesn't involve time.
yeah, right.
Every sport from NFL to soccer to the NBA all have a running clock. This is the only sport that didn't have a running clock up until they were forcing pitchers at 10 seconds to throw the ball.
Right.
And then on top of that, they're giving the batter 8 seconds to get ready. It's like, dude, it's like being micromanaged at your job. You don't want that to happen.
Yep.
I think that rule is stupid. I think the shift rule is stupid. I think these extra large marshmallow bags that they're going to have on the field is also stupid as well. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's just play some t-ball. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
And in fact,
I equate it to when you're sitting on the john and you're in the middle of what you're doing and somebody knocks on the door. It just it's unnecessary.
hey, your time's up from taking a
I'm
dookie.
still here. I can't get up right now. I'm sorry.
If I get up, I'm going home.
Right. Trying to quicken that process is a lose-lose situation. Um,
We'll see. For me, I don't think it's going to change the game. I think it's just going to ruin it. You're going to get some very upset players about it, but we'll see.
we'll see how
We'll
it
see.
goes. So moving on to
Yeah.
another topic. We actually got a chance to watch some of the World Baseball Classic. It's always great to see when you're playing on the world stage and people are playing for their country. It just adds a little bit more to it. And I see
Yeah.
that a lot with the World Cup, which we're going to get B to watch it when it comes back. Is it's a lot of fun. It adds a lot of that almost like we talked about before with the college basketball, almost like the college type atmosphere. Everybody's it's so intense. So I thought it was great. Japan and USA finishing it up in the way that it did was awesome. So
Oh,
do you,
can't get any better than that.
exactly with two of the best players from both sides, Otani and Trout, facing off. I mean, it does, again, as you said, it doesn't get any better than that. Does the success of the World Baseball Classic you think help boost popularity going into the season?
I think it does, just because you had a lot of your major stars playing in it. This wasn't an amateur tournament. This was the best of the best representing their country, and a lot of the big name players in it, which creates a lot of exposure for these players because they are mostly on a major league roster here. You don't get this kind of atmosphere in spring training here. It just doesn't happen. So I think with the success, this is probably the most successful World Baseball Classic we've ever seen.
Hmm.
In all honesty, here, you really felt the passion of the fans. You felt the passion of the game. That is baseball, and so to have that happen, and then 2 weeks, literally tomorrow, we get opening day. You can't ask for a better rolling into your season there. So MLB's got a great chance to just take off with that kind of momentum and to really capitalize on that success. Shohei Otani was the face of that baseball classic.
Yep.
Mike Trout was the face. Trey Turner. There was a kid who was, I think, 17 or 18, who pitched in the World Baseball Classic, struck out three major league hitters, and then gets a minor league contract with a baseball team.
That's cool, man.
Oh, you got to be able to capitalize on that there. So the Baseball Classic gave us joy. It brought that excitement back for baseball. And now, how do you carry this for 162 games? Because that is a long, long season.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And and transitioning, you talked about it, getting coming into opening day. As a baseball fan, obviously if it gets around this time of year, as we mentioned earlier, the sun starts to shine, start to smell the grass. You get into springtime. It's a fun time. I've been out to many a baseball game myself, and there's nothing like being able to get some garlic fries, get a beer, sit down with your family, and just enjoy and pretend like you can actually get a foul ball when it comes your way. So there's nothing like that. Um, how everybody stands up like we're all gonna catch it. We're not all gonna catch it.
Yeah, exactly. This baseball is the lottery. Which one of us gets to have the lotto?
Ball goes to 20 people, 30 people, 50 people stand up. Yeah, it's not really going there. But in any case, what does it mean to you? B, what does that mean to you as a fan and to fans overall?
And for fans overall, there's there's something different about a day game and a night game.
I
Um,
love night games.
Especially on opening day when you've got the blue bunting, the buntings out that symbolize the start of a season. The you know, it sounds cliche, but the fresh cut grass, the clean dirt, unless you're playing on turf, then the artificial stuff. But there's just something about baseball when you get to the park, it just generates excitement into you here. I remember even just last year going to opening day with my sister, and it brought that childhood excitement out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was nice to be at the ballpark. It was some great excitement here, and I think that's what baseball is able to provide here. Now the only problem is can you afford going to opening day? Like you're gonna have 40,000 people spend $130 a ticket to go to opening day, and then the next night only have 10,000 people, trying to afford a $40 ticket.
Yeah,
But just being at the ballpark, hearing the organist play, throwing your peanut shells on the
on the
ground or
ground.
spit your
Yeah,
sunflower seeds, and then just getting involved with the game. There's no excitement like it, man, and it brings chills because everyone starts 0-0.
yep.
It's that opportunity of optimism until 10 games in, you're like, God damn, my team sucks.
Dude, the one thing I love is the walk up songs, man. Whenever the guys come up to bat,
Oh yeah.
um, the the stupid little games on the jumbotron that we somehow all get invested in for no freaking reason.
Like when they put the baseball under the hat and then you're
Yep,
you,
you
you know
switch
you're
it
watching
around.
it, your eyes are
The
going all sorts of directions
Yeah,
and stuff.
the race, the little silly race
Yeah.
they do. Oh my goodness, good times, man.
But there's
Always good
there's
times.
nothing like being a part of that, man. And I hope that a lot of people get the opportunity to just go to a baseball game and enjoy it. I hate to say it, I'm against baseball right now as far as going to the game. I love the sport and I will watch it, but because my man Barry Bonds did not get into the Hall of Fame after so many tries, baseball owners are hypocrites. The Hall of Fame is nothing but hypocrites. So I'm kind of anti going to these games right now as much as I would love to. They gotta fix this Hall of Fame issue. So fix it, you'll get me. If not, you don't worry. I'm saving $100, not going to the game there.
You heard it here first, folks. Giants fans should boycott going to games until Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. How about that?
Well, hold on. I didn't drop all of that. I just said me. I just said me. You fans want to go to the game, by all means, go to the game. Me personally, I'm just, it just leaves a sour taste in
That's
your
just
mouth
me,
because,
folks. That's just me poking fun. That's all right. Don't worry
yeah.
about it. That was funny. Oh man. All
But
right. Well, let's jump into some predictions we've got going into the season. And we're gonna do MVP, best team for the regular season. Who we got for the World Series. Um, and yeah, who we think's gonna win it all. So let's start with MVP. We'll start in the National League MVP.
let's do it.
I'll start with me. I'm going to go with Bryce Harper. So Bryce Harper uh, had some setbacks last year with injury, but he is a Hall of Fame player, and I think with a full season health under his belt, I think has an opportunity on a very good team to be the MVP.
I actually like that pick. That's a really good pick there. I'm gonna go with the guy who put all his talent on full display. Again, coming from the Phillies as well. That doesn't mean we're Philly fans, folks. We're just admiring the best player on the damn team. I'm gonna go with his counterpart, Trey Turner. Um, what he did in the World Baseball Classic was phenomenal. I think that time is going to come for that to be recognized. I think this year will be the year. So I'm gonna go with Trey Turner of the Philadelphia Phillies. So we both think that Phillies are winning the MVP,
Got it. Got
at
it.
least on the National League side of things.
On the National League side, yes, yes, yes. All right. So on the AL side, B, I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Ooh, for the AL side, I am going to be a homer, and I am going to say Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what more can you say about the guy? He's he does it all, and he's on the field most of the time. So I think you'll see Shohei Ohtani win that MVP. cause his price range to go skyrocketing
That's right.
uh, in the for the sweepstakes of him. So I'm gonna go with Shohei Otani here. Who
All
you
right.
got?
All right. Well, I like home runs, so I'm gonna go with Judge. I'm gonna go with Aaron Judge. I'm
Oh,
picking him because I love home runs, and I like to see guys hit the ball very far. And I think that he hit what 62 home runs last year. What?
yeah, about 62, 63 home runs last year.
And I think he's gonna help. He's gonna have to help carry his team a little bit, and I think he's gonna definitely do that this time around. So I'm gonna go with Mike Judge because excuse me, I'm gonna go with Aaron Judge because I like to see home runs, and I'm all about the long
Hey,
ball.
look at that baseball! You got a fan who likes home runs and is not worried about a shot clock. Go figure.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'd rather see it hit 50 feet than any of that other garbage.
500 feet. I don't want to see
500,
a player hit
not 50.
50
Sorry,
feet.
500, folks. 500, not 50. Um, all right, well, let's move on to best team regular season. So I'll start on this one. I'm gonna go with the Yankees again. I'm going home runs, baby. Home runs. I mean, the Yankees are a great team. They had a good season last year. They won over 100 games, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they have an opportunity to come back and do that again. Um, who you got?
Hold on.
What's he
Hold
doing?
on,
What's he
guys.
doing?
I, I'm opening a bottle of wine for my mother right now.
I thought you were popping a bottle for your pick or something.
No,
I thought B was
I,
saying,
I don't.
"Hold
I
on,
don't drink no
guys,
more. My mom,
it's
she
getting."
just snuck into the room and was like, she handed me this bottle like it was a secret, like it was a speakeasy in here. So she does. She's got a
Okay,
little bit of an
okay.
injury right
Now
now.
she's popped
She
in.
couldn't wait till 8
I
o'clock. She
gotta
said, "I
ask the
need it now."
question. I gotta ask the
What?
question, Mama Birdie. What are we drinking? What was that?
Chardonnay.
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 Chardonnay. All right.
White wine tonight.
White wine tonight at the late. Well, let me not give away your birthright name at B's
Hey, yeah,
household.
don't give away my government name, man. That's a look, man. Last week we had your son walk in
Yeah,
during
yeah.
the show. Now we're opening
Now,
wine bottles.
hey,
We made it, dog.
that's
Big
right. I'm
times.
telling you, this is real, folks. This ain't that stuff you see on television. This is real life. This
You
is
ain't
what's
gonna
really
see
happening.
Shannon Sharp opening a bottle of wine on his show.
You got that right. You ain't
You
gonna
get
see.
it
You ain't
here.
gonna see Stephen A. Smith kids walk in behind him and ask him a question real quick.
I can't believe that. Then we got to clip that. We have to clip that.
We will. Man. All
um,
right,
let's before we get back into the best teams here, as we were talking, let's give a couple shout outs. We got Josh in the chat with us.
Josh.
What up,
Wu
Josh?
Tang.
Wu Tang. We got KP with us as well. He probably just caught me opening a bottle of alcohol for my
KP, what's up?
What's going on, KP? Hey, KP and Josh, give us who you think would win MVP this year in baseball. It doesn't matter in American League or National League who you think is going to be. I'll give you my best team, and unfortunately, I'm still sticking with the Phillies here. They really loaded up this offseason here. Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryce Young, Real Muto is the catcher. Castillo is another big hitter here. So, those I think they'll be the best team. I just don't think they'll have the know-it-alls here to win it. But hey, Taj, I think you have two American League teams as your best teams.
Oh man, that goes to show you
I
what's
think.
really going on in my mind right now, folks.
I just realized that. I was like, okay. So let me ask you this: who is your best American League team in a tie with the Yankees? We'll put it like that.
And the title, yeah. Well, so I put down the Houston Astros, so I guess I got to go with that. Yeah, I mean, I would say the Astros with what's the guy's name? Biggio.
Altuve,
Altuve.
Biggio.
No.
Dude, you taking it back in the time
I'm
machine
going
with
too far.
Biggio.
Oh yeah, see, no, that's not right. Yeah. So I'm gonna.
I got you. I got you, dog.
Yeah, so I'm going to go. Yeah, I would say the Houston Astros are right there with the Yankees, of course. I was actually there at Minute Park taking pictures with the players. No, I wasn't. I was in Houston, so I got a chance to actually visit the park, which was fun, especially to see how large the indoor park is. Coming from California, we don't really get to see very many domes, so it's nice. It was interesting to see a 4 block by 4 block building smack in the middle of downtown. I've never seen anything like that before.
The only domes we see nowadays are Rihanna's forehead on the Super Bowl halftime show. Let's get a little caught up here before I give my prediction. Looking, Lord, my mom has joined. Hi, boys. Yes, I only have one hand and in need of wine. Thank you, son. By the way, good show. Yeah, baby, baseball. Seaton is here. That wine is flowing already.
Oh man, there you
Um,
go.
Good to see. Yeah, so my mom had a little accident. She burned her hand, so
Oh
she's
no.
little. I hate to use the word handicap, but we'll use handicapped. So that's why you guys saw me opening a bottle of wine. That is not for me. I just had to do it for her.
Hey,
KP says Shohei or Trout. You can't go wrong with either or. As long as Trout can stay healthy, I think he can win that MVP. But how cool would that be, Taj, if had two players from the same team battling it out for the MVP
that'd be
and then not
crazy.
making the
That would
and then
be
not making the playoffs?
that would be pretty crazy. And then right, exactly. That'd be pretty crazy, but fun to
God.
watch. Uh,
Um,
where we leave off, World Series winners.
I got to give you my best American League team.
Oh, go ahead. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with the surprise team from last year, and they have a lot of talent coming in. I'm gonna go with the Seattle Mariners as my best team in the American League. Don't sleep on them, folks. They've got a great pitching staff. They got a just rising star in Julio Rodriguez as well. Uh, I would pay money to go watch at any point there, but they've got a really good thing going on in Seattle right now. So I would pick them as my best team in the AL. But that doesn't mean they're going to win the World Series.
There you go. And I've got I'm sticking with the Bryce Harper thing, so we're gonna go with the Phillies. Phillies again.
And
Philly,
this is
Philly,
to win the
Phillies.
World Series
Phillies,
as far as
Phillies.
the World Series, right?
World Series, yes. World Series winners, yes. So I'm
All right.
picking the
So
Phillies.
I'm going to keep it a National League, and I'm going to go St. Louis here.
Man,
Um, yeah, they St. Louis is a baseball team that's consistent to say the least. Um, Paul Goldschmidt, Arenado, the pitching staff is good. They've got a great closer in there as well. The only downfall to St. Louis is they lost their catcher in Yadier Molina, so they're going to have a fresh face behind home plate. But there's just something about St. Louis baseball where they, they find a way to get it done no matter what. It's kind of like, man, how do I put it?
trying to find a
I don't know
comparable
how to
team.
put it. Yeah, there's nothing really comparable to it. They're going to find themselves in it every year. Um, my mom, Birdie, goes Texas Rangers. That's not a bad pick. Bruce Bochy's coaching that team who used to coach the Giants. He's got a pitching staff. He's got some really good hitters on that team. I wouldn't be shocked if they won the World Series, but that's a pretty bold prediction there. So we'll have to chalk that up on bold predictions from Mama Birdie.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So well, that's our baseball coverage.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
that was good. I
Yeah, it
like
was
it.
all right, except for me picking two American League teams. Other than that, I think we did great.
We'll strike that from the tape. You'll be all right there.
Yeah, I'll go back and delete it.
But
Yeah.
well, let's transition. We got some time. Let's talk about the NBA because Mr. Shoot 'em up, bang bang, Ja Morant is back in the league here. Um, Supposedly a better man after 8 days of not playing basketball and finding help and all this other stuff. So
Oh
let me ask
God.
you this, T.
Yeah.
Was the punishment handed down by NBA for an 8 game suspension? Was that enough?
Well, first off, I think it's almost comical that we're going to sit here and try to say that something's changed in the guys over a week. Obviously, he's not any different than he was the week before. If he did go to therapy, it's only been one session because again, he was only gone for a handful of games. So I just think this is a really soft stance they've taken on this. I mean, The NBA used to be pretty rugged about stuff. When it came to fighting, when it came to the type of dress, the type of clothes that the players were wearing. You remember when they
Yeah.
instituted a dress code? So the NBA used to be pretty harsh about certain things. The last person to have any type of gun related incident was Arenas, Gilbert Arenas, who was, well, he was pretty much ousted. He was gone for the entire year.
He basically
He was
was
basically
said, the
kicked out
league
of the
said,
league.
see ya.
Yeah, so
Yup.
I find this to be a little bit interesting, and I don't think it was enough. I think if the league wants to protect their image, they have to make sure that the stars are holding themselves accountable. And it's not to say that someone can't own a gun. Of course they can. They just can't go flashing it on IG. And especially whenever you're an NBA player that makes so much money, it just doesn't make any sense. And I don't think that the punishment fit the crime. There should have been a little bit more added to it. And I think the only reason is because of where the Memphis Grizzlies are in the standings and the fact that Ja Morant is one of the newer faces of the league. But in my opinion, he should have got the Kyrie Irving treatment. She should have
Oh
been.
God, yes.
He answered tests, went to go see a therapist, and then turned around and had to, answer questions about the Jewish community, all that stuff. All the hurdles that he had, all the hurdles that Kyrie had to hop through, they should have did the same thing with Ja Morant. He should have been going
And
to
the,
gun safety classes. They should have been finding out if he even has a gun license, for one. I don't even know what. He should have been, the whole 9 yards. We should have seen him show up in a Jesus robe. Seriously. You know how I knew that John Morant hadn't changed at all? He still had those stupid multicolored braids popping off the front of his face. I mean, it's not, like, if he's just gonna maintain the same image and we're just gonna give him a slap on the wrist, then just know the next time he gets in trouble, don't be surprised.
I think this was. I'm not going to say it was poorly handled by the NBA, but they could have done a lot better. Your image is fine. The NBA's got so much talent; they don't need to worry about their image, but they need to protect the brand.
Yeah.
When if for people who didn't watch the Jalen Rose interview with John Morant, Jalen Rose asked him, "Was it your gun?" And John Morant clearly said, "That's not my gun." That should be a red flag flying all over the place. Like, okay, so whose gun was that traveling with the Memphis Grizzlies?
Right.
Now all of a sudden the investigation stopped. John Morant's back on the court, like nothing ever happened here. He gets a standing ovation back at home. Says I'm a changed man, but what's changed? You don't just go to rehab for a week and just go how magically healed. Like you got to put in some work for that, man. There's people who put in work for this kind of stuff to get better, and you're gonna tell me a week going to a rehabilitation center for this got you feeling better?
Yeah.
It just something just doesn't add up to that. So, who knows if there's more going on with this? I don't know. We don't know, but I think there's something more. Let me ask you this: was it not weird that he had a black mask on
Yeah. What was
for a
that?
man for a man who has not played any basketball for 8 days?
Did they ever?
What are you doing?
Did they ever explain that? Why does he? Why is he wearing a black mask? When did he
I,
break his nose, or when did he hurt himself?
I gotta find that out because like no one like his first game back, no one said anything. Like I'm pretty sure when John Morant was in Denver, he did not have a mask on um,
No, I don't. I don't. I don't
before he started getting
remember.
to the strip club.
Yeah, exactly. Right. 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 He. I don't know, man. Like I have no idea. It just adds to the weirdness of the entire situation altogether. Honestly, I think the mask was to protect him from his own stupidity. That's what it was.
So, so the report is that he had a nasal injury. That's probably from snorting too much coke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was me, but I said it. I
A
said it.
nasal injury. All right.
That's what it says. But I mean,
What? Like,
he looks like the dumber version of Batman.
yeah.
Like the matches don't fit him here, but I mean it
Yeah.
is what it is here.
Crack man. Crack man. Yeah.
Let's see if he's changed. We'll wait to see. Wait to see if them so-called gangsters are running around with him at the arena, because that's the other thing too. Who you run with is who you're associated with. So
Yeah.
if you're running with the same crew and they're getting in trouble, you're associated with them because you're the breadwinner. You're the guy who makes the money. So you're gonna go down with them because they will drag you down with them
Yeah.
if they have to.
I just hope he figures it out, man, because the next time this happens, they're not going to be as lenient, obviously. It's.
Oh, as a Warrior fan, I hope he doesn't figure it out. I'm good.
Oh man.
But
Did you want to do a quick cap on the teams, or you want to run through to the final four here?
shit, let's talk about your Lakers
All
here, man.
right,
Because all of a
let's.
sudden they want to. I know
Well.
you want to talk about them. Don't
All
even
right.
don't play
We'll
like you
do it. We'll
don't
do a
want
little bit. I don't want
to.
to get too much into it. I know how upset it makes me. So the Lakers have been doing
Nah,
this.
we good.
The Lakers have been doing the herky jerky and have gone 500, then not gone 500, then gone 500 again. So they've been back and forth in a few games. The biggest news of the entire week was the fact that LeBron James goes from a torn ligament in his foot to wearing a boot to somewhat doubtful to all of a sudden playing on was it Sunday? On Sunday. This has to be
I
the
don't get it.
most interesting injury situation I have ever seen where a player was rumored to come back to get 2 to 3 games before the end of the season, literally days before playing in a game after not playing for what, a month and a half. Um,
Yeah, just about.
this is interesting. B Apparently LeBron went to the quote unquote LeBron James of foot doctors and got
I
his
guess
foot
so.
fixed. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No,
I
no.
mean, what just
It's
happened?
something. Look, this is how he probably saw it as. See what happens if we creep up in the standings. I'm coming back.
Right.
If we don't, I'm out. And as of right now, playing tournament.
Yeah. No, we.
So yeah, he was like, okay, well, if we're in the hunt with less than 6 games to go, I'm coming in. There's that will to want to play it because your team is in it instead of going, well, you've got a future ahead because you want to play with your son, so you got another 2 to 3 years. Foot injuries aren't the quickest to heal either.
Right.
Let's be honest. That is a basketball. Feet are the biggest thing for basketball players.
Yep.
It's their livelihood that gets them going. So I don't know. Maybe he got a what do they call them? What are those? Not an epidural shot. Cortisone. Who knows? Maybe he
Cortisone.
put a cortisone in
It's
his foot.
shot in his
All of a
foot.
sudden, he's feeling like Superman. Or the walking boot was a horse load of shit. If you ask me, that's just me
Yeah,
saying it.
yeah.
It could have been
It's
that as well.
as a Laker fan, I am glad that he is back. Having him in the lineup is going to help us tremendously. But it does make you question what really happened here. But let's move on from that, and let's talk about some of the playoff implications that are on the table here. Today, I think Dallas decided to lose, which is going to help both our teams. The
Dude, at this point, I'm not even worried about Dallas
yeah,
because Dallas has to win. They're done. They're 37-40
isn't
under
that sad?
500.
Isn't that sad? They
That's
traded away assets for Kyrie Irving just so he could keep a seat warm. That's pretty much what this was. Somehow OKC end up winning that game. That's unfortunate. But in any case, the Lakers did win today after losing to Chicago previously. They look good, man. I like what they're doing. I like D'Lo. You got D'Lo back. You got Braun back. The offense is better. It's going to take them some time to get adjusted to each other, but for all intents and purposes, this team is going to make the play-in tournament. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. Now,
well, you better at least hope so.
no, they will, man. Um,
Can, can we talk about one team before we
yeah,
move
yeah,
on?
yeah.
What the hell's going on in Minnesota? What did they put in that water?
Well, Towns
Bro,
is
they're on a
back.
4-game winning streak.
Carl Anthony Towns is back. That's the big reason why. And then they got Edwards back as well. So Anthony Edwards. So they've been playing really really well. I don't trust them though because they did the same thing last year. If you remember, they had this big run at the end of the season that pushed them up the ranks. I believe
To the
they
playing tournament.
huh
They ended up in the playing tournament last year.
Yeah, yeah. If they pushed
Yeah.
themselves up because they were having such a craptastic season, and they finished strong. They got into the playoffs, and they got blasted by the what was it, the number two seed, I believe. I'm trying to remember where they placed, number two or number one, but
Memphis. They got Memphis in
they
the first
got
round.
right. So they couldn't get off the schneid. So I mean, I'm glad. I'm happy for them. It's cute, but I don't think they're a team that can sustain that during playoffs. I don't think they're a team to be feared at this point.
At this point, I have to root for the Suns tonight because the
Yeah, you
Warriors
do.
unfortunately don't want to own any tiebreakers. So
Yeah.
if the Wolves win, I mean that's great. But now the Warriors are now in that playing tournament because the Wolves will have the better record, um, head to head matchup wise. So that's why these games really mattered for them to win. Is just
Yeah. If the Warriors didn't if the Warriors didn't duck off, what was it, like two in a row or whatever it was, um, they would have been you would have been rooting for the Timberwolves to beat the Suns, because that would have dropped the Suns closer to where the Warriors were. And at one point after that 5 game win streak for the Warriors, it looked like they were broaching that fifth, that fifth seed. But
yeah.
unfortunately, after winning a couple of road games, they kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit, and yeah, and then things kind of started to flounder. Now they did win. They did win the other night against New Orleans, so we'll give them credit for that. But it does push them back into the thick of things with all the other, Pelicans and OKC and the Lakers, and it puts them in that category. So tough
They're
sledding.
just flirting with disaster, man. It's like
Yeah,
they had the opportunity to find themselves at a five spot and potentially the four, but just these road woes are just killing this team right now
yeah.
so bad, man. I'm just like I said, home games we know we're gonna win. Outside of the Minnesota game, I don't know what Draymond's doing with the ball in his hand with less than 20 seconds. Why is Curry even giving it to him? The Warriors, all they had to do was
Oh
just dribble the
man.
clock out with a 2 point lead, if I'm mistaken.
Mm.
All they do is just dribble the ball out. Why is it not the ball in Klay Thompson or Steph Curry's hand? Even though Jordan Poole's a great free throw shooter, he is never allowed to touch the ball with less than 2 minutes left on the
Oh
clock.
yeah,
Because
he'll.
all he turns into, if anybody saw the game last night, Jordan Poole faked himself out and tripped over his own feet and turned the ball over. And this is why Steve Kerr does not trust him, um, in these final minutes. And people are like, well, he kept us in the game. And I was like, well, he keeps us in the game, but he also throws the game. When he turns into a spaz on the court, it's just mind blowing sometimes, man.
Yeah, man. It's just one of those things where he's just one of those guys, man. He's like JaVale McGee, man. JaVale McGee. I remember you used to put him on the floor.
JaVale McGee, a point
He
guard.
would JaVale McGee could look excellent for like 10 minutes, man. But the moment he got to the 12 to 15 minute, he started doing some weird stuff, and that's what you're seeing from Jordan Poole, man.
Goofy for him.
Oh man, throwing the ball to nobody, tripping over yourself. What are you doing? Who are you passing to? Just silly stuff, man. But it's been
Can't.
tough sledding for the Warriors. This season has really been a season to forget. I got to be quite honest with you. They with that many road losses, I'm very happy that they understand that Curry only has a few years left, so they have to push for this. But any other situation, dude, I'd have been like, you know what, guys, pack it up. I'm so frustrated with this team. Just pack it up. We're not.
Here's how far I would go. What Draymond has been able to do for this team over the last few games, I bring him back.
Yeah.
He, as much as he is a liability, he's not that much of a liability, but that defensive presence, the mind to get the team going because when the team needs a spark, he does it. Now, whether that is getting a technical, talking trash, or
Mm-hmm.
just putting the offense into a fast pace, he's the leader of that. There's no one in the league that's going to do that. Jordan Poole is going to turn the ball over. You're not going to get that from Kaminga right now. I honestly, if organization, I'd really think about how we can keep this core for the final 3 years. Give this a shot because I honestly think you lose Draymond, that window becomes really really short for them. And as crazy as it sounds, it's true.
Yeah. Unless they can
Um,
find a way to get another big name player on that team, or mid level player, um, I don't think you're going to find anybody that necessarily can do what Draymond does. But the thing with Draymond is his value is really his value is more to the Warriors than any other team in the league. So
Absolutely.
it's
Here,
it's yeah,
he's not gonna have the same success on another team with the way he plays.
no,
This is the only place where it's going to be good for him to continue on with that. I really don't think you're going to get that anywhere else here. But
yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jordan Poole go. There's a lot
Well,
of
if you
asset
can,
you
yeah,
can
you
get
got to
for that.
trade. I mean, the Warriors, they drafted fairly well, so they have some good talented players. If they want to make a trade, they definitely can. The other thing is, you still haven't seen Wiggins, and I don't know what the deal is with that, but Wiggins has been out for some time now, and
They're- Dude, the rumors about Andrew Wiggins are pretty damn wild.
really,
Uh, So supposedly, I mean, of course, you don't believe everything on the internet, but there were a lot of reports. I don't know where these people can get their sources. Andrew Wiggins has been away from the team because his baby mom, he's been taking care of kids that aren't his.
what? That
Supposedly.
sounds a little crazy.
It sounds a little far fetched,
Yeah.
but it was like there were multiple reports that came out saying that, Andrew Wiggins has been fathering these kids that aren't even his. And I'm like,
How's that
that doesn't
stopping
keep
them?
you
Yeah, how's it stopping from playing
that
games?
doesn't keep you away from the game for as long as you do.
Right,
And
right.
he's been practicing since he's been away from the team. So
That's strange, man.
it's interesting what's going on. If they could win these next two games on the road against Denver and Sacramento, because that's going to be a big test for them on the road.
Yeah, those are tough
Um,
teams.
Find a way to get Andrew Wiggins back. I think I wouldn't be too worried about it for playoffs. But if they don't do it and Andrew Wiggins doesn't come back, it's a short postseason for the Warriors.
Yeah, yeah. Agreed, my
So
friend. Yeah, got to win road games to win playoff series. So that's just the bottom line.
crazy thing is, you only need one.
Yeah,
Only
that's
need
true.
one.
All right.
Um,
Well, to round it out, we're reaching a bitter
More
end.
predictions.
That's right. More predictions. Final four. As the college basketball tournament comes to an end, there are four teams remaining. Um, who are they? We've got FAU, Miami. We got UConn, and who's the fourth one I'm missing on? The
San Diego State.
San Diego State.
Aztec
There
Warriors.
you go. um, so B, who you got, man? All the number ones have died. So
Thank God. Thank God, man.
they're all
I'm happy
gone.
to see this.
They're all gone. We don't even have any number twos. I don't think it. So yeah, it's this is legit. This is legit grit and grind right now. Um, who you got winning
I
it all?
Going with the underdog, FAU, and only because they're minus 300 to win it all. So if you're a betting man, $100 can go a long ways with this pick here
Okay.
to win it. So don't take my advice because we all saw how Pick'em Dummies worked for a little bit here.
Hey, we did all
But
right.
you did pretty good yourself. Me, not so much.
Yeah.
I owe my godfather a case of Coke now because the Raiders or the Niners had a better record than the Ravens. But I'm gonna go with FAU. I love a great underdog story. Um, this is a very mid market team here. Like their stadium or their arena only holds like 8,000 people. So for them to be on this stage to do what they're doing, you know, no care at all. I'm rooting for them. So FAU is my national champion
All
in
right.
college
You
basketball.
heard
Who
it.
you going
Heard it
with?
here first. Florida Atlantic University for the win. I'm going with the U, baby. The U. Because as I said before the show, we are going to go with the most hoodest of all the schools remaining. That's right. This is for the hood.
Oh
So I'm definitely
man,
going with Miami Hurricanes.
Did
I
you?
really like Kansas State, man. I really like Kansas State, but they obviously couldn't get it done. I like
Yeah,
that little what's the little they got Spud Webb on their team. Noel, the point guard.
I know who you're talking about. I can't. It's
Noel. I mean, I haven't seen a true one play like that in a long time. You don't get to see them anymore because they rarely even exist. Guys that can
of
impact the
course.
ball, impact the game without even with just the pass, and not shooting. But in any case, I'm gonna go with you. That's my pick to win it all. I don't want to
Who
see
you
who
thinking
go.
about is Marcus Noel.
Marcus Noel, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I was a big fan of Kansas State. I want to see them go further. But in any case, now that that's done, I'm gonna go with you, baby. We'll see how it shakes out.
Dude, did you watch that documentary ESPN did, the 30 for 30 on Miami when they when
Like
they went from
old,
being a bad,
I'm talking about like,
like the old Miami football team.
oh no, yeah, I saw. I
They were
think I
causing a
saw that. Yeah,
ruckus.
I remember that. That was bad.
Ooh, man, that wasn't bad. That was
That was almost
amazing.
as
I don't
bad
know
as
about you.
Cocaine Cowboys, man. Almost.
Oh my God, two live crews taking them to the
Yep,
strip clubs and taking
that's
care of
right.
them.
That's right.
If y'all need to watch that documentary, man, because it just blew the roof off of what was going on in college football back then. Mind you, that was football. Who knows what the hell was going on in basketball? But they made a rap song about some other dude's girlfriend or something like that. Like they were some wild ass
It was
animals.
going down, man.
It was nuts,
It
man.
was going
So
down.
those are good picks. So Miami for Taj, FAU for me. Let's go Owls. I hope they beat everyone to death,
Peak.
and bring home that national title to their
There you
school,
go.
man.
There you go.
That'd be a good story. So all 5,000 students can show up for the rally.
Cinderella. All right.
Exactly.
All
But
right. Well, that about does it for us, folks. We appreciate you joining us on Wednesday. We will be back. We will be back to our regularly scheduled time at
yes, sir.
6:30 on Sunday. So be on the lookout for us. And we wish all of you a very good night. I'm going to savor this Lakers victory, stare at the standings, and hope that they can beat the Timberwolves on
He
Friday.
said, "I'm going to stare at the standings."
Hey man, how else are we gonna?
We
We need help to make the playoffs, so I gotta stare at the standings.
Oh my God. Hey, well, once we get on the road, we'll provide you guys some help.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Hey man, if we end up matched up in the stupid playing tournament, this is gonna be ridiculous.
Well, hey, you know what's funny? I think the playing tournament is shit. It's not on a weekend. It's the third,
It's
11th, and the
yeah, it's
13th.
like the
Damn.
Thursday and the Friday before or something like some silliness
Well,
like that.
if the Warriors end up hosting this playing tournament, and by all means against the Lakers, you may find B&T in the arena. Um,
Oh yeah, you better believe it. You better believe it. It's gonna be the crazy if LA has to go to San Francisco, man. It's gonna be wild.
So, all right, man. Well, hey, you have yourself a wonderful night, man. We'll see everybody Sunday. KP, thanks for tuning in with us. Appreciate you joining us here, Mama Lay. I hope you're enjoying your Chardonnay to say here. And don't forget, folks, email us your sports moment. The first email we get, we'll be getting that wonderful basketball hoop behind T here. We've hit 100 plus subscribers, so we want to reward our subscribers here. So this is a way for you to interact with us. Send us that email. We'll drop a line right back to you, so we can get a mailing address to get this wonderful hoop to you. So,
Come on.
um,
Come on.
emails in the description of this show. And let's hear your favorite sports memory.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, everyone, thanks again. Everyone, have a wonderful night. And don't forget to don't forget to subscribe. If you know somebody that you think would enjoy our conversation, let them know where to find us. We appreciate it. All right, folks.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Out.